Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our daily word. Today's Monday, October 25th of the year 2021. Glad you could join me for our few minutes together as we start a new week with our daily word and our ongoing conversation about Scripture. So glad you could join me for our time together. It's going to be a rainy day, but we begin the week that way, and so we always give thanks to God for the gift of a new week and all that we have and the blessings that have been given to us. So I thought an appropriate way to start a new week was with this particular scripture from the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 6, verse 34. And it's probably really familiar to all of you. This scripture says this: "So do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring worries of its own. Today's trouble is enough for today." Now, I don't know about all of you and how much you all worry about the future or what it's like or what the future is going to entail. Sometimes we probably do worry, and we probably worry, most likely, we probably worry a bit too much about tomorrow, about the future. You know, there's a great song, ever since I read this scripture earlier this morning, this great song that rings in my head that just mimics these words. There are things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, but I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. It's an old hymn, an old song that we probably know. We are reminded in this scripture this morning that Jesus said that today's trouble is enough for today. I have this tire issue on my car. I know which one it is, and it's the passenger side and the rear, and I struggle with this stupid tire, and the low light comes on, and I need to take time to get it fixed. But instead I go and put some air in it, and then it'll last me about 2 or 2.5 weeks, and then the air goes down. Now, I could worry about that tire, but I really don't. But I probably should. You see, I should go get it fixed, because the added worry really makes very little sense when I could just get that tire fixed. Today's trouble is enough for today. And we all have enough anxious moments in our lives where we struggle, where we can't figure out what's next. We carry the past with us, and we all do, right? We carry the past with us. We consider the future, and all of us do. You know, we look ahead, we consider the future, but we can only deal with the present. And sometimes the present we can handle today is sometimes what's in the present moment, like right now. Whatever trouble or whatever worry brings us in our life, in the present, it's enough. And Jesus reminds us that even though future troubles might be, they might be restlessly and relentlessly knocking on our door, we know, and the scripture reminds us, that they'll have to wait for their turn. And I got to thinking about all of that, because I have that too. I have all these things on my calendar. So Diane always says she likes to have a calendar of my stuff. And so the other day she said, I need a November calendar. So I started working on my November calendar, and I thought, I'm just going to give her December as well. And so I got all the basketball stuff on there, all the stuff that's coming up. And I printed off 2 calendars, and I gave it to her, and she said, man, 1 month was enough when she looked at it. Because, with November becomes the start of basketball season, and December, all the Advent stuff and all the things we're doing, and all the basketball games that I hope to be at if my body cooperates. We plan ahead. We look way ahead, and I do too. But Jesus reminds us that if we're grounded in our faith, if we really trust in who God is and how God moves in our life, surrendering anxiety about tomorrow frees us to process today's stuff. And Jesus said that today's trouble is enough. And I think that's true for us. And I wonder sometimes when we look deep inside of ourselves, as I try to do, and I've already lamented that I'd like to start today over. I'd like just to go back and start over. I'd like to get up sooner. I'd like to process things that I did a lot sooner. I'd like to deal with things better than I've already dealt with them. And it's only 10:06 according to my watch. I'd like to start over. But then, I just had to remind myself that I don't have that magic button, and it is what it is, and have to deal with what's next. So already today, I'm going to go to the office pretty soon. Already today, Betsy texted me. I had trouble with the copier yesterday, and there's this waste container in the front, and it says it's full. And so I opened it yesterday, and toner went everywhere. And so Betsy sent me a picture earlier and said, "Do you know what happened here?" And my answer was simply, "Yep." And of course she wanted to know, and so I told her, and it was my hope, I thought, that I was going to beat her there and get it cleaned up. Well, that didn't work out so well. You see, we all have that in our lives, right? But Jesus reminds us not to worry about tomorrow. Tomorrow has its own worries. Today's trouble is enough. And I think Jesus reminds us that the life we live is a faith journey. It's a journey. It's trusting in God to guide us from one step to the next. I saw this the other day, this little picture. It says this: the past is where you learn the lesson. The future is where you apply the lesson. Don't give up in the middle. I thought that was great advice. We've all learned many life lessons, and our faith has carried us. And we have the future that hopefully for you and I, we're going to apply these lessons and we're going to use them to better ourselves. But in the middle, where we live today, right now, at 10:08, we have to not give up. We have to know that in the midst of our lives, God's present with us, and we just simply can't give up. We have to continue to rely on God's presence in our lives. So, these moments where we live now are rare and precious. They ground us. They keep us settled. They remind us that we should live in this moment and take advantage of this moment, whatever it is that we're going to do, however we're needed, we should take advantage of it and live in the moment. And know that tomorrow will come with its own stuff. And, I don't know about you, but I need to learn that lesson better. I need to take advantage of today and then know that tomorrow I'll start over again. And that's the good news that Jesus gives to us in the scripture. Don't worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring worries of its own. Today's trouble is enough for today. And we live with today's troubles knowing that God is present with us in all of our lives. So I hope that helps us as we start our week, as we live in the moment, take advantage of how we're needed and what needs that we have in our lives, and then we look to tomorrow and we start over again and we live our lives in such a way that we know that God is present with us, and we don't just give up and throw in the towel, as we might want to do from time to time. So it's Monday and we have today's troubles. And tomorrow will bring its own. Let's live in today. Let's live in the middle, right where we are, and know that God is present with us. So enjoy the beauty of today. Enjoy all that you're going to do. Know of God's love that surrounds you, and know of my love for you. And I'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock. Have a great day.